It's Monday, June 10th. Here's what's coming up in the mayor's office.
Was that not one of the greatest baseball games you've ever seen? It was
one of the greatest games I've ever seen. My son Jake and I, Andrew, even Carly was locked into the game. Jillian even came in at the end. I had all my kids watching that game. I mean,
and I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
boom, coming in hot shit. She looks like you. Did you go to the London series with Jess?
No, I didn't go, but look at this.
Dude, that's nice, dude. That's nice. Ooh, that's nice.
It's got the Mets logo on the
Ooh,
side.
that's really nice, dude. Dude, thank God for Jess too that she ended up getting then the Mets ended up winning it.
Oh, yes.
Come on, Sarah.
No, I'm not.
What?
She doesn't want to get on camera. She doesn't have her beauty face on yet.
She always has her beauty face on.
I have my little
I think you look great.
Yeah, I do too. I can't see you, but I'm sure.
there's this meme circulating around where this woman's like looking at the camera and looking all crazy.
Yeah.
And she's like, that moment when you catch yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself how lucky your husband is. That's how I'm feeling right now.
That's so good. Dude, but how about the Mets pulling off that win?
For
It's
them,
been a long trip to be 0-2.
it would have been a long trip, and oh my God, they had to go down to the wire again. That's all that team does. They get, you know, Diaz is rehabbing. They get him back. They're getting their catcher back. Everybody forgets the one of their top prospect guys. We'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, yep.
But by the way, real quick, Bryce Harper suggested, somebody must have asked him a question, suggested that the Major League Baseball should do what like hockey and everybody does. And when the Olympics come, stop the season for a little while and take all the All-Stars to the Olympics. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. Well, it'll never happen, but
It's a great idea, dude. That's a great idea. That would be really, I think it'd be awesome.
it would be awesome.
Dude, how about Bryce Harper hitting that home run the first day of the London series and sliding in like a soccer player? I thought that was cool, man.
Very cool. That was a great trip. That was a cool trip. Fans packed the houses out there, man. Fans packed the houses. Los Angeles fans packed the houses in the Boogie Down Bronx over the weekend. So much to unpack from the Yankees. First of all, other than Soto being banged up, it lived up beyond expectations, that series, I would say.
That was two juggernauts going at it. You know, it just goes to show you what good pitching does for you. I mean, really. And also the hitters that hit good pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the guys that hit the good pitching were the star players, you know what I mean, that really kind of stepped up. Teoscar Hernandez had an incredible weekend. I mean, the first two games, he basically won those games for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Judge still on fire. Judge's raking. But I thought yesterday's game, you know, when you know, they were chanting, "We want Soto."
Yeah.
Right. Trent Grisham, poor Trent Grisham, you know, gets at bat every 3 weeks. If you know what that's like, that's almost impossible to do. I mean, there's no rhythm or anything. And he hits a huge 3-run bomb.
Missile.
Now, right?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Huge bomb, too. Yeah.
It was pretty much dominating. I mean, double-digit strikeouts and everything. That series had everything because the Stars played great and had big hits and big plays in big spots. I mean, you even had Aaron Judge play at the plate trying to throw out Ohtani last night. Ohtani barely beat it. Pitching was great all around, and the Stars did great, and the role players did great at different points. But and also Teoscar Hernandez, he was mic'd up during one of the innings. Seems like one of the nicest kids in the world. I mean,
yeah,
and the mutual
great guy, guy,
and the mutual respect for both teams of each other was just everything that's great about baseball. Golly gee, if they wind up with the World Series, that might be the highest ranked thing. That might be bigger than any Caitlin Clark thing, any.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? If they end up in the World Series together, that's going to be an absolute. I mean, it'd be a dream for Fox. I'm sure they have it again. I mean, a dream. That was like in 06 when the Tigers and Cardinals make it. It was the opposite of a dream for Fox. They were pissed.
Right. It's funny how that works, but I mean, it just was really great. The crowds were great. That's everything you want in a baseball series and in baseball in general. It's good times, man. Good times.
Yeah, no, it was great for dude. This weekend series, Dodgers Yankees was great for baseball because true star power. It made you. I honestly feel like back in the day when you had the Brooklyn Dodgers versus the Yankees and all the star power that was in those matchups. So
Yeah.
great series, man. Great series. Like you said, lived up to the billing. Makes me think of Teoscar Hernandez though, dude. Think about the Blue Jays. When the Blue Jays were dominating,
Yeah.
and a few years ago when Vlad and Bichette were just coming up, Teoscar Hernandez was the big bat in that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
He really was. He was one of the, he was the guy that was hitting 30 home runs and doing those. And they moved him and Lourdes Gurriel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, Gurriel obviously wasn't a big bat, but I know they were good friends. But,
Yeah.
They moved Teoscar Hernandez to Seattle and got Eric Swanson for him. Swanson's a good pitcher, but Teoscar Hernandez being an everyday player, game-changing bat.
Great
The numbers he's putting up for dude. You go down the list of guys this year with like Ohtani and Betts and Freeman. We already know that. Will Smith. Teoscar Hernandez, I believe, is leading that team in home runs and right up there in RBIs, maybe leading the team in RBIs.
Yeah.
So like I think it was kind of his coming out party this weekend to say, hey, listen, there's another good player on the Dodgers that signed for a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, it's like both teams have that where it's like, oh yeah, they have those super duper stars, but Yankees have the same thing with Stanton. Stanton hitting a bomb late in the game the other night. So, oh yeah, they have Stanton too. We forgot.
Right.
Like, forget about the great players on the back end of the lineups. I mean, DJ LeMahieu's just starting to hit again. He's like a 9-hitter for the New York Yankees.
Gleyber Torres, dude, hasn't got it going. I mean, Gleyber rakes. I mean, so, Verdugo. I mean, you're right, dude. It's those next tier players are star players anywhere else. I look at around here with the Pirates, everyone's like, oh, Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds is a good player. He signed for over $100 million. The star players are signing for $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just the way the game is. So like here in Pittsburgh, you're like Brian Reynolds, O'Neill Cruz. You're hoping for those guys. You're spoiled with the Dodgers and the Yankees with that kind of payroll. You got star after star, and the next level guys would be stars on the Pirates and the next level teams. So interesting.
Very interesting. The thing is, crazy thing is, you might have seen more excitement in a whole different game in the college world yesterday, dude. You and I were texting,
Dude.
vigorously at each other. The Clemson, Florida, was it the Super Regional? Yes.
Yes.
Super Regional game?
Yes.
Was that not one of the greatest baseball games you've ever seen? It was
One of the greatest games I've ever seen. My son Jake and I, Andrew, even Carly was locked into the game. Jillian even came in at the end. I had all my kids watching that game. I mean, dude, first off, it wouldn't end because it was just back and forth. We had an ejection right in the fourth or something, third or fourth, with that play with Caglianone, that play at first base, little pushing going on, baseball pushing. Dude, what an incredible, one of the greatest games I've ever seen. Clemson, Florida. Cam Cannarella, 3-run bomb in the ninth,
to tie it.
down 3 to tie it at Clemson. Place almost comes down. Then they go to the bottom of the 10th with a guy on second base. One guy hits a guy from Florida hits a bomb dead center. He had just homered, hit his second homer of the year to put him up a couple innings earlier.
Right.
Hits one over Cannarella's head, dude. It's a surefire walk-off, no doubt about it. Cannarella, Jim Edmonds, Willie Mays both jumped into his body at the same time. Jumps on a no-look into the wall. Doesn't he? If you go back and look at the replay, he doesn't catch it with his glove. He catches it with his body. So it hits his glove and he puts it on his body, catches it to save the game. Then it goes to extra innings and Florida ends up winning. But Cam Cannarella, dude, gave us two of the greatest moments in college baseball history, I think, and for that game and what the magnitude of it.
That was, to me, I'll be generous and say top 10 catches I've ever seen. Maybe top 5, maybe number 1.
Maybe number 1. No, seriously.
Number 1. It might be
I
the
agree.
catch I've ever seen in a sporting event.
And for what it had, for what was on the line.
Yes.
I mean, it's a walk-off. If he doesn't make that play, it was a do or die jump, no look. It kind of like, you could tell it hit him and he didn't know where it was and he grabbed onto it. Yeah. I mean, dude, that to me was one of the best catches baseball's ever seen anywhere.
Hey, also, I got to say, great job by the announcers there. That you're in the middle of an epic all-time event happening and the cameras go, three-quarters of the cameras go down on that ESPN broadcast. Probably they got burned out because that game was like 19 hours long.
Yeah, right.
They had to do the high home for a while. They finally got one side camera back, and then luckily they got it back for the walk-off. But it was terrifying. I can only imagine as a production team like what they were going through, try to get through that game and still do a good job. They did a great job broadcasting it. Oh my goodness,
dude! I just think also too, like watching all the regionals now on the ESPN Plus or whatever. Like, dude, we were going in and out of Tennessee and Evansville, like NC State and Georgia. These regionals were incredible, dude. And just going back and forth, I just hope college baseball catches on because Major League Baseball wants that draft to be bigger. It'll never be bigger until these guys start to become some household names. Right. And I think social media is obviously helping with that because so many people watch NCAA football. That's why the NFL draft's such a big deal because you know these guys.
Going to be on
right. You know these guys. Exactly. Yeah. You don't know these guys yet, but watching these regions on ESPN, because a lot of the best players are on there. You know, that Jack Caglianone, who's the pitcher, Shohei Ohtani of college baseball, left-handed pitcher for Florida, also one of the best hitters in the game, over 400, over 30 bombs. You know, he was on stage yesterday in that game both ways. He homered two-run bombs. So it's just a great thing, man. That the NCAA regionals and the college baseball was awesome.
Yeah, and hey, one other shout out I'll give to the event staffs at these series, man. You are getting 50-50 fan bases. Like it's fun watching those games because every play there's cheering. There's no booing because half of the crowd is cheering for when something good happens to their team, and then the other half is cheering when something good happens to their team. It's really great. Like if you folks, especially if you have little kids, it's not easy to bring little kids to sporting events. Bring them to a college game. Bring them to minor league games because there's a lot more kind of like adrenaline that they can let out at those events because it's really more than just the game. It's really like a celebration,
like a party.
Yeah. So that's a good introduction to your kids, especially, we save a couple bucks on tickets and you want to bring your kid to a game, bring them to a college game, bring them to a minor league game, and kind of get their feet wet before they go see the big boys play. Because I wouldn't have trouble bringing little kids to like a hardcore series between Yankees Red Sox for the first game. That's vibe in the stands. But hey, man, great stuff, really great stuff. And wait, there was one that
Jayson Werth,
dude,
bro, it's incredible. Yeah, dude, Jayson Werth is into horse racing, and
looks like the basis for Foghat at this point in his life. He's got that whole vibe.
Yeah, it's incredible, dude. So he won the Belmont. He was a 17-1 odds too. I love how he was saying he was a nervous wreck before the race. Dornock was his horse who finished 10th in the Kentucky Derby. But how cool is that, dude? You go from winning the World Series title in 08 with the Phillies, having a great career, making $150 million, $200 million, or whatever, and now you find yourself winning the Belmont with your horse.
Yeah,
incredible, dude. Worth, congratulations, dude. He only made $2.5 million, but you make the money. You make the money on the horse's sperm, right? At the end of the day, don't you?
Oh yeah, when the kids swim, you make a lot of money on it.
That's where you make the money because now the offspring of that horse is where you make big cash.
Oh yeah, Secretariat's family's locked in, dude.
That horse is retiring. I'm getting as many babies out as possible and just banking.
That's so good. You always say it's like if I ever got rich, if I ever did this, I would never do anything again. But if you're a professional athlete and then you're done being a professional athlete, your adrenaline, you have to find some sort of outlet for the adrenaline you've been pushing out of your body for like 36 years of your life, right? You got to do something. And the fact that he can go do that and be successful at it, everybody buys horses. Police Act's got like 9 horses. Right. He's not winning the Belmont, although he's got some good horses. But
well, I'm sure Werth has a little more money than Police Act.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He probably put in the big cake to get the good horse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's what we got. Baseball is in good shape, man. We got the young guys, veteran guys, all doing well all over the leagues, man. And this is a special year for baseball. I think we're running down to some really big storylines as we get into like the middle of summer. We haven't hit the trade deadline yet. We have not even hit the trade deadline yet. And there's a lot of teams within 3-4 games of wild cards. It's gonna be a wacky couple months here. Yeah,
there's a lot of teams playing some good baseball. Cincinnati Reds, one of them. There you go. 2 games below 500, 8-2 in their last 10. The Buccos too are playing well. They got that good pitching. They squandered a game yesterday against the Twins, hoping to get that sweep. But you're right, Chinch. Baseball's healthy. Attendance is higher than it's ever been. Yes. Record attendance last year. It's moving even more this year. So, love what's going on, man. Let's go.
Yeah, and great pitching everywhere. You want to see the Pirates with those 2 horses? If you're a 2 seed in the postseason and the Pirates sneak in, then what?
You don't want to see Skeens, Jones, Keller. No, you don't.
No. So
no, you don't.
It's gonna be a fun run, and we'll be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, brother. Well, listen. Happy Monday to you, bro. With the London Series hat on, rolling out. And it's going to be good. Hey, listen, everybody, thanks for listening to us today, coming in the mayor's office with us. And we will see you tomorrow. Chinchy, I love you, my man. See you tomorrow, brother.